Pokepop Chris here, where we upload new Pokemon related content every single Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And although you may be a seasoned veteran or someone who's freshly stepping into the Pokemon world, right, these are just several reasons as to why you are failing when it comes to investing into the Pokemon TCG. Whether that be with singles, whether that be with slabs, whether that just simply be with sealed product, right, we're going to go ahead and be giving you an understanding as to why you're failing and how we can go ahead and improve those numbers in your Pokemon portfolio. So let's get right into it. The number one common mistake that I see newcomers coming into the TCG world and even seasoned veterans when it comes to investing is their lack of research, right? This can be very detrimental, not only in this field, but in any financial, ambition that you have, whether that be real estate, cryptocurrency, just building a business, whatever the case may be. If you do not build a habit of researching, you're going to literally be destroying your financial future, right? So there comes a time when Pokemon, right, especially within this market that we're dealing with right now in 2025, where you're hearing the talks of the town. It's a bullish market, right? It just seems that no matter what it is that you put your money into, at least what everyone is saying is everything is just naturally gonna go up. No matter what you put your money into, right? If you just give it just slightly a little bit of time, it is going to go up. And I'll tell you that is false, right? We have cards from 2020, we have cards from 2021, cards that are older than, and especially out of print at this day and age, that have just not risen in price, just due to that simple fact of, just give it a little bit of time, it'll raise in price. So I like to go by, at least in the singles aspect, right, I like to go by at least two things when it comes to investing into something. Of course, through research is, for one, do I necessarily like the Pokemon, right? Is it a Pokemon that I like? And on top of that, is it an artwork that I like, right? So I would say, more importantly, the artwork. Do I truthfully like the artwork? Is it something that I will literally sit there and be mesmerized by for quite some time? And after coming to a conclusion of, yes, I really do like the artwork, or secondly, I don't, it would be the second thing that really pushes me towards purchasing the exact Pokemon card is the fact of, is it a popular Pokemon, right? The popularity of a Pokemon is very essential, and I think people downplay it so much when it comes to investing into Pokemon TCG, is the fact that it's popularity, right? We need to focus on a popular Pokemon, especially for someone who's a newcomer, right? If you're a seasoned veteran, you can kind of take your risks, but for someone who's coming in freshly, I highly suggest that you focus on popular Pokemon, right? Don't go out of your way to buy a ton of Bellsprouts, right? Or even in this case, right, Drowsies, right? One of the Pokemons that I like to talk about is the 210th out of the Scarlet and Violet base set, right? That Drowsy, right? There was such a hype behind this card in the early time of this year, maybe February 25th. I'll put up a graph here showing you guys. I think it was about a $70 card at this specific time, but soon right after, that card had dropped exponentially in price, about maybe even 50% or even less than 50% of the actual value of the card, due to the fact that, at least in my opinion, the artwork was nice. I did like the artwork. It was cool to look at, but it's not that much of a popular Pokemon to, kind of build that surrounding audience or community to really empower the profit or not the profit, the value of that card. Right? So this is why I say, especially with newcomers coming in, focus on the popularity of a Pokemon, right? I think it's a whole lot more essential that we invest into Pokemon like Charizards, Pikachus, Greninjas. A majority of the starter Pokemon, honestly, out of each generation is very safe. Even legendaries like Mewtwo, Mew, Arceus, Giratinas, right? These expert Gengar, right? They're not legendary, but these type of Pokemon where they have the evolutions, right? They have such a huge fan base behind them, usually help with maintaining the value of said card, regardless of the age of the card, whether it be a newer modern card or if it's an older vintage card, right? So these are the two things that I like to go by, and I think doing your research, and then shows the proven history behind these cards, right? There's so many Gengars out there that have proven to rise over value. There's so many Charizards, Pikachus, Mewtwo's, Mews, even the legendary beasts, Entei, Suicunes, and Raikous, right? There's been so much history in these cards themselves alone. It only makes sense that starting off, you go ahead and then put your money into something that, at least through data, has shown to, give you a return on your initial investment. So when it comes to, again, coming into this world, one of the hugest mistakes as to why you're failing in building a well profitable Pokemon portfolio is the fact that you're not doing enough research. Build the habit, dive deep, spend time behind this computer or your laptop or your phone or whatever the case may be. Spend some time doing research and just look up your favorite Pokemon and see the history behind them, right? And then you can go from there. But definitely, I'm telling you, the lack of research is one of the most detrimental, aspects to someone's failure in the Pokemon world. Second mistake I see so many people make is you're afraid to pay over MSRP. So many people, especially in the crazy market that we're dealing with today, they're so focused on getting things for the cheapest price or the retail price coming out of stores that they miss so much on money-making opportunities. For example, right, if I bring you straight to my laptop, I have right in front of me, right, the Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection that is currently standing at a market price of $314. Now, if we look at just simply 6 months ago, right, this card in the early summertime, right, and this is when I first got my first couple SPCs, and I had bought them for, I actually got them for MSRP, and I even got a couple outside of MSRP for about 150, 160, 170 range, right? But even at 190, right, this is where I say, like, so many people are so afraid of paying over MSRP is because when I was actually selling the sealed product at a, market of 200, and where it initially was going for, if we see right here in about June 9th, June 2nd to the 8th, right, it was about $200. So many people were pressed about, and if you look there as well, low sell price at 170. So many people were so worried about giving me 170, 180, 190, 150, 160, right? So many people were so worried about low balling and not getting a sale for me. Had they offered at 200, right, I would have made my money. And if they would have just held it out for even just a couple of months, right, not even that much, they would have seen, just by paying at 200, they would have made $115 themselves, just in the growth of the specific item. And what I'm trying to say to you guys is, don't be so greedy when it comes to trying to make the most amount of money when you could make a whole lot more money buying in volume, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get this one SPC for 170, but let's say this one guy had SPCs for 190, right, in June or July, in June, July, it's right, 190-ish, and he had about 5 of them, and I bought all 5 for 190, and now I'm gonna be able to sell them at 300 compared to me not even getting one because I was so stingy with my price at 170, 150, or trying to buy at a percentage. When you have the intuition and understanding that this is an Evolutions premium collection, right? So many people are infatuated with the Evolutions, and on top of that, the amount of value that the cards have in terms of the singles inside of this set, Prismatic, that just proves that a sealed product of that specific set is going to do very well, especially something of this caliber, right? A premium collection, right? That comes with a lot of packs, comes with a promo card itself, comes with some extra add-ons like the play mat and things of such, right? Your fear of wanting to buy things at MSRP are stopping you from making a multitude of money into the Pokemon world, right? There's so many things that I have bought for more than MSRP, and I'll go right in outside of even sealed product is something in the singles world, right? Something like a special delivery Charizard from Sword and Shield promo cards, right? This was something that you could have gotten from Pokemon Center for, I think, maybe $30 or $20 in terms of you buy something from Pokemon Center, and this was a promo card they started to send out to everybody, right? Even in the days of, what year is this, 2024, obviously before, the hype of the market that we're in right now, even earlier of this year, even in the summer, right? I actually bought this card at $110 recently. Mind you, we're just now stepping into October. This is about September 29th at the making of this video. I bought the card for $110. I couldn't, and the thing is, a thing is where a lot of people mess themselves up with when it comes into this investing world is you'll see a sticker price already underpriced, and you'll go out of your way and try to negotiate with somebody to knock off an extra 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever many dollars. And that right there will mess you up when it comes to making money, because now as a vendor or now as someone who's selling the card, I'm going to now look at market and see, is this person asking for a price marked down because my price is too high? But now that I check the price, I'm like, hey, actually my 110 price isn't even that bad. This card is currently $143 at a near mint. So just by you trying to gain that extra little $5, $10, $15 off, you're screwing yourself out of money that you could have potentially made. And of course, even just satisfying a client if someone is looking for this card. Because when I saw that marked price at $110 at my local, game store or card store, I said, why am I gonna sit here and argue? $110, the card's at damn near $150. Let me not even allow the person to be aware of the comp and just say, you know what, I'm taking this Charizard. And again, like I said earlier in the video, I'm making sure that I'm investing into a popular Pokemon. Not only is it one popular Pokemon, it is a mixture of two, which just really boosts the love and fan base behind that Pokemon card, like this special delivery Charizard. And again, it's a promo card. It's very unlikely that they'll be in reprint. So these are some aspects that can really come into proving the value and solidifying the value behind your specific card. So stop being scared of paying over MSRP. Again, look at the data points, figure out what works, and you'll be able to make money within this market, especially within this bullish market. But yeah, stop being scared of paying over MSRP for some stuff. Man, that's all I gotta say. Last but not least, the last mistake and reason why you're failing in Pokemon investing is because you have no exit strategy. You need to come into this market and figure out what is it exactly that you're looking to gain out of it, and what is your game plan going into it, right? A lot of people come into this market and think they're just gonna buy everything up and, you know, I don't know what to do with my singles, I don't know what to do with my slabs, I don't know what to do with my sealed product. You need to figure out what works for you, right? You can watch 1,000 investment videos and see, you know, someone talking about, hey, I bought this amount of sealed product and I'm holding it for the next 10 years. But that may not be the case for you, or that may not be the situation that can work best for you, right? You may have a limited amount of, you know, capital that you can work with. So something like working in terms of quick flipping is going to be better in your, you know, situation, right? Or for example, if you do have the excess amount of capital or money that you're not going to be, you know, is stressed about it being tied up into something, then maybe playing the long game works best for you. But when it comes to coming into the TCG world or any type of investment, you know, ambition or endeavor that you're looking to, you know, strive in, it is very essential that you have an exit strategy. You need to determine whether or not you're going to be coming into this market to quick flip, or if you're going to be coming into this market to go ahead and, you know, hold things for the long term. Me specifically, when it comes to the sealed product, it just makes a lot more sense for me to just hold this at a long-term type of gain, because again, that is in my situation. But when it comes to the singles, right, I like to make my quick flips through the singles aspect of the game, right? So again, it's all about figuring your situation and what works best for you. But if you have absolutely no exit strategy, you're gonna come down to the problem of selling things for lower than what they may possibly go for, or, you know, just selling things or not being able to sell things because you waited too long, right? You're gonna just be running into the situation of, oh, should I let this go now? Should I let this go later? But if you had an exit strategy plan, right? You're looking, okay, I'm buying this card at $15, knowing that I can sell it for 20. That's an exit strategy. I'm looking to make quick flips and do this over and over and over and over and over again. Or, hey, I have no problem holding this for about 10, 5, 3 years, whatever the case may be. And I know whenever that year mark hits is when I'll be looking to let go of this said product, right? So having an exit strategy is very essential into investing, and it'll really improve your, you know, ability in making money within this market. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I hope that this helped every single one of you guys, whether you're a seasoned veteran or a newcomer in the TCG world, right? I really hope that you guys took some notes and this helps improve your journey in investing into the Pokemon world. But yeah, these are just some of the few reasons as to why I've seen people fail and why they're not succeeding in this market, although it is a bullish market, right? But with that being said, I do appreciate every single one of you guys tapping in, showing love, right? Please make sure that you leave a like, comment, and share, and just let me know a couple of the other reasons why you think Pokemon investors are failing within this market, and I'll be more than happy to have that conversation with you in the comment section down below. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Pokepop Chris, I'll see you next week.